Haruki was a man of the sea. Ever since he was a child, he had been drawn to the water and the rush of the waves crashing against the shore. Growing up, he spent every free moment he had out on the water, either surfing or swimming, and he had become something of a local legend in the small beach town where he lived. As he got older, Haruki never lost his love of the sea. In fact, he surfed every single day, no matter what the weather was like or how big the waves were. He was a master of his craft, and he loved nothing more than the feeling of the wind in his hair and the salt water on his skin as he rode the waves. But one day, something strange happened. As Haruki was out in the water, waiting for the perfect wave to come along, he noticed something odd in the distance. At first, he couldn't quite make out what it was, but as it got closer, he realized that it was a wave unlike any he had ever seen before. This wave was huge, at least 10 times bigger than any wave he had ever ridden. It towered over him like a giant monster, and as it approached, Haruki could see that it was twisting and turning in an unnatural way, almost like it was alive. At first, Haruki was excited. He had always loved a challenge, and this wave was the ultimate test of his skill and courage. He paddled out to meet it, feeling a rush of adrenaline as he saw it coming towards him. But as he got closer, his excitement turned to fear. The wave was no longer just a wave. It had transformed into a massive dragon, its scales gleaming in the sunlight as it reared up and prepared to attack. Haruki froze. He had never been so scared in his entire life. The dragon wave was too big, too powerful, and he knew that if he tried to ride it, he would be crushed beneath its weight. He started to paddle back towards shore, but the dragon wave was too fast. It caught up to him in seconds, its jaws open wide as it prepared to swallow him whole. In that moment, Haruki knew he had a choice to make. He could either give up and let the wave consume him, or he could summon all his courage and face his fear head-on. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, remembering all the times he had surfed before, all the waves he had ridden, and all the challenges he had overcome. He knew he could do this. He had to do this. With a burst of energy, he turned his board back towards the wave and paddled towards it as fast as he could. The dragon wave was massive, but he was determined to ride it out. As he reached the crest of the wave, he stood up on his board and felt the rush of adrenaline that only surfing could bring. The dragon wave was twisting and turning, but Haruki was ready for it. He leaned into the turns, shifting his weight from side to side as he rode the wave like a true warrior. With each passing second, he grew stronger and more confident. He knew he was facing his fear head-on and winning, and that feeling was unlike anything he had ever experienced before. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Haruki rode the dragon wave out to sea, avoiding its deadly grasp and emerging on the other side unscathed. As he paddled back to shore, exhausted but exhilarated, he knew that he had learned an important lesson. Fear was a powerful thing, but it was only by facing it head-on that he could truly conquer it. From that day forward, Haruki approached every wave with a newfound sense of bravery and determination. He knew that anything was possible as long as he remained fearless and true to himself. And so he continued to surf every day, but now with a new sense of purpose. He had faced his fear and emerged victorious, and he knew that he could overcome anything that life threw his way as long as he remained brave and true to himself. Years went by, and Haruki grew older. His hair turned gray, and he began to slow down a little. But he never lost his love of the sea, and he continued to surf every day, even as the younger surfers looked on in awe. As he looked out at the endless expanse of the ocean, Haruki knew that he had lived a good life. He had faced his fears and overcome them, and he had lived every day to the fullest. And as he rode the waves, he felt a sense of peace and contentment that he knew would stay with him forever.